Hey guys, welcome back. This is Paula with Paula's Imperfect Plans. On my channel, I share my personal planning and budgeting journeys as a mid-30s wife and mother living in the Midwest, trying to get my life together, it feels like most days. So I am here today to do some closing out of my June 2nd budget. And so if that sounds interesting, please stick around. All right, so coming in here with my expense tracker, I believe we left off at the car wash last time. So this is when it gets a little confusing, and I don't really feel like I have a better way to do it. So I'm not sure. Okay, sorry, I was trying to get that adjusted. So this is really just, this expense tracker has replaced like my register, or like this is where I keep track of everything going in and out of my main checking account. So like it just needs all of this information on it. So like it doesn't look like other people's where it's just tracking like money spent, but maybe it doesn't matter. Not maybe, it doesn't matter if it doesn't look like other people's. What matters is that it works for me. But when I'm walking you guys through it, I want just to kind of preface it with that. So this medical flex deposit, my husband has, we both actually have flex accounts, things that are taken out pre-tax, and then we can be reimbursed for medical expenses. So that's a deposit in. That payment hasn't gone out yet, but that's me paying the medical bill with the flex money. That is, my husband spent $86 on some things for my mom's lawnmower. That's cash, my mom depositing that back in to cover that expense. This is 3 separate expenses for swimming lessons, and then some cash to cover that. Not the whole amount, but my mom did help cover swimming lessons for my kids. So that's like, I could highlight those as kids, but I'm getting reimbursed for some of that. So a lot of it's not actually coming out of my budget. Only $15 out of $115 is being paid for by me. So I didn't highlight that, which is confusing, but those 3 came out. 100 went back in cash. Which left us with that amount left in the budget, which is 15. That's not right. That 8 isn't supposed to be there. Okay, anyway, it's fine. So this was a Walmart trip. $18.91 was groceries and $22.40 was kids. I only had $17 in cash, so I put $17 back in out of grocery cash. And I just took the other $1.91 and ended up allocating it to the kids category because I wasn't going to break any more change or do anything else. So that's just how I did that. That is an Amazon purchase. My husband can kind of be a sucker. So it was my 3-year-old's birthday party over the weekend, and she got this new toy, and she was not, her older sister, they're only 16 months apart, really kept like taking it and whatever, and so we were constantly redirecting and giving it back and just doing all the things. And so my husband just went and ordered a duplicate one on Amazon, and now they each have one, and in 3 days they'll be done playing with it anyway, but it's fine. So that came out of the kids category. So these 2, the 55 and the 15, were cash that I put back in, and I explained that we had an eating out expense that was pretty large that went on my credit card, and so that was me putting cash back in to pay that back. This is my mileage reimbursement check finally arriving and being deposited in, so those are all deposits, so they're not highlighted at all. We have well water, and we're really struggling with like rust and different things causing like water pressure to slow down. And so I finally, I've been telling my husband just get the filter, and he finally ordered a filter. It's not, I think it's like for water coming into our house, a filter at that level, like not just on our sink, but where it enters our home. Anyway, so that's a household expense to Amazon. This is me putting the money on the card for the 55 and 15 in cash. So I deposited that $70, and there's it going back out as a payment. And this is the transfer of my mileage check to sinking funds for car gas. And then, so the last, after I figured out all the cash and all of the pulled from all the other places to fund that eating out bill on my credit card, I'm closing my budget out a little early because it's driving me nuts. But the last thing Like that's all that's left of that to cover that I didn't cover by pulling from money left over from another category. So this is the only part of that $124 bill that I pulled out of my budget that wasn't like budgeted for. So it's categorized as extra eating out, which is something that I track because I know that's an area where we struggle. So that leaves me down with $175 left in this budget. I will plan to, oh, actually, and I need to add that in here. I also have to put in, I need to deposit $4.28. We got a whole $4.28 when we paid off our truck. We got, you know, like I paid it off based on the balance online that day, and, you know, got an email saying that the vehicle was paid off, the account was closed, they're processing the title, all the things. And I just got a check in the mail today for $4.28. That is whatever that we overpaid, I guess, that they're paying back to us. So I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to take that $6.03 and roll it into my emergency fund, because that's what I'm doing with the extra. I went ahead and I got really frustrated, excuse me, earlier because I'll do it closer to payday actually, but I got really frustrated because I've just been transferring this at the end, and so it means that I'm not putting much money on emergency funds, and it's just leading to additional spending, right? And so I was really frustrated for a while, but then I actually looked back at this expense tracker and back at, as I'm preparing to close out my budget, and I'm like, we didn't spend, I mean, so that pub bill, but like, whatever. I pulled from other areas, and really $40 came out of extra eating out, 13 and change for that pizza. Everything else, like a couple small things for the kids, but I didn't go over budget in the kids area, like, which I'll show you in a minute. But we were able to cash flow $124 unexpected dining out bill. Hosting family, and we also were, is that in here? Also, and I need to look back because I don't remember the original amount. I'd have to look back in my other notebook, but my sinking fund balance was like $500 off from what the account that had the actual money in it that I had just transferred to a high yield savings said we had, and what all of my trackers say that whoops, not that one, but what all these trackers say that I should have in different areas. So I was panicking because, like, if I need access to those sinking funds, I need them. So in this paycheck, not only did we cash flow that $100 and whatever eating out expense, we were also able to entirely rectify $500 worth of, you know, missing money in our sinking funds just by being more intentional with what we did with our money. So I really needed to reframe that, and I'm actually kind of excited about how it ended up working out. But so if I go back to the budget closeout area, so my income was that, my husband's income was a little bit less because his dental premiums went up. Flex, this is the dependent care flex plus the medical expense flex that I hadn't budgeted for because I just decided to apply for that reimbursement when we got the bill in the mail. I knew a medical bill would be coming, but again, I wasn't really planning for it because I knew we would just pull it out of flex. So that flex deposit ended up being, with those two combined, $554 and 33 cents. We did pull $315 out of the daycare sinking fund. My mileage check was actually $377 and 36 cents. I hadn't budgeted for this church stipend for the second semester, but that was $184.70. I pulled $92.90 out of the car gas sinking fund to cover the diesel bill, $70 from my mom, and then I just added that $428 in there that I just found out about now. So $428 plus $70 plus $92.90 plus 184.70 plus 377.36 plus 315 plus 554.33 plus 1274.72 plus 986.77. So that left our income at $3,860.06. Fixed expenses were fixed. 150 went to church, 138.54 went to life insurance, 83 to garbage, 648 to XM radio, 320 to daycare out of our budget, 15 to Beachbody, 270 for car insurance, and 291.20 went to our REC bill, which is 150 plus 138.54 plus 83 plus 648 plus 320 plus 15, 320 plus 15 plus 270 plus 291.22 is 1274.24. When I take that away from 3,860.06, that leaves me with 25.85.82 left to budget. When I come down to our cash expenses, I did take 60. My husband took 60. Groceries was 280. Eating out was 60. Amazon subscriptions was 100. It was actually a little bit less than 100, but I just sent the whole 100, and the rest helped to cover that eating out bill. So part of it was covered with that. 21, no, that's not right. So for household and personal expenses, the math is different, and I probably should have added all these up first before I came back to do that. So household is 2134 plus 2674 plus 6205, which is 110.13. Drinks was 50, and 5-star diesel was 192 and 90 cents. 110.13. This is check 1. Okay. So the total for our variable expenses was 60 plus 60 plus 280 plus 60 plus 100 plus 110.13 plus 50 plus 192.90 is 913.03. When I subtract that from 25.85.82, that leaves me with 16.72.79 left to budget. When I move up to here to fix the sinking funds, I had planned to spend 90 out of what I was going to send to different sinking funds. So that was 90 plus the $184.70 from church. I sent that whole amount, which is $274.70. My car gas sinking fund, the entire mileage check went in. For beauty, that's $50. That was cash. Haircut, that was $5. Kids cash spending, well, essentially was 20. So that was mine. When I go back to extra eating out, because that is an area that I do like to track, extra eating out was $13.26 and then $40.02. So $53.28, because I was able to pull from other places. Only $53.28 of that comes out of that additional area of extra eating out, $53.28. So when I look at, so when I add those up, $53.28 plus 20 plus 5 plus 50 plus 377.36 plus 274.40, I am at $780.04 in that particular box, which I had to add extra things for, but okay, so $16.72.79 minus $780.04, leaves me with $8.92 and 75 cents to budget. So extra daycare was actually $3.15. Those graduation gifts were both $20. My Google subscription was $21.39. I sent the difference of $8.78 from the REC bill to the sinking fund. So this is really all over. $0 in work food. So the additional money then that I paid the sinking fund to pay that balance back after all of the pulling it out of different places was $64.85, which I did. And then, excuse me, $346 in medical here. Didn't budget for that, but did get the flex in to cover it. So $346. Now I need to go back. Kids category is the only one kind of extra kid spending, whoops, is what I have not added up yet. So $26.71 for the birthday cake. $22.40 was, no. $24.31. $24.31 plus. That was when I went, we got some groceries. When I picked up the cake, we got some groceries at Walmart, and I had one of my kids with me, and she was like begging for a new watch. My kids are obsessed with watches, so I bought them each a $7 watch. Cake, kids at there, and then the toy that my husband bought, which leaves $64.93. That was spent on kids. It seems like less than it should have been. And so then emergency fund, I transferred the rest to emergency funds, which is $603. So I'll put this here under the emergency fund line, and we'll check out the math and see if I did it right. So $315 plus 20 plus 20 plus $64.93 plus $21.39 plus $8.78 plus $603 plus $64.85 plus $346 is $866.98. I'm off by 1077. I know where 15 of that went because I needed to add that in there. But I'm still up by 1077. So maybe it is a math error. So actually in this kids amount, I also need to add 15 to that because I'm gonna just actually go in and check the math, but I spent 15 on, so 2671 plus 2431, because that's not right, plus 1391 plus 15 is 7993. $79.93.
All right, editing Paula here. So I went back and I found my mistake, or at least part of it. 1077 was the total I was missing. 10 of that is from the car wash. I had that in the expense tracker, but did not have a category for it back on the budget page. So that's what that is. And then 52 cents was the difference between the $7 for Sirius XM that I had budgeted or had in the expense tracker, but the actual cost was in the budget. So I accounted for 1052 out of the 1077. The last quarter just is in La La Land apparently, but I'm okay with it.
Well, I'm gonna go back through all my math and figure out where my $10 error is, and potentially come back and show you where my $10 error is. But for the time being, that is how I'm closing out all of the spending in here. I'm going to categorize this last $6.03 transfer as a sinking fund. It is an emergency fund, but it's basically the same concept. And thanks for watching my budget closeout video. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have, if you'd like to see more about me trying to figure out my life, please subscribe and join us on this journey. Until then, guys, have a great day. Bye.